प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्रचित्रीकृतम् मायावीवविरुन्धयत्रिमहायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवहवहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन कृतितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वां सन्ददामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ज्ञानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। देवाय तस्मै। 34 मृत्युः सर्वहरश्चाहम् भवश्च भविष्यताम् कीर्तिश्रीवाक्चनारीणाम् स्मृतिर्मेधा धृतिः क्षमा। So as I told you, it's a mrityu, 2 types, which takes away something which was a source of joy for you. Then you will have another opening to get a job. Yeah? Like, the money has gone, suppose. It's a source of joy. Good. But even if money has gone, taken away, gone, then one can gain knowledge. The clarity in the knowledge gives you joy. Any discipline of knowledge, when you pursue a discipline of knowledge, when you gain clarity, clarity is always growing. As you gain clarity, you like that subject matter very much. You read very much. So it is, the dhanam etc. has gone away, the money etc., the name or a possession, certain things gone away, relationship has gone away. Therefore, everything has gone away in my life. No. You should know that there are other avenues to get a joy. There are people in this world. Not that all these people are happy. In fact, that's another ulta. Yeah, there are people who have a less possession, but they are happy people. Happiness has nothing to do with the wealth. Yeah. It's entirely a misconception which remains in a human heart throughout the life. That more I possess, more there will be joy. It's not the case. More you possess, more you feel the liabilities. Yeah. Especially things which you possess are no more useful. They become liabilities. And more the liabilities, not more the joy. One gets, free from liabilities in a deep sleep state. Wow, what a joy. Because you remove all that, the whole load, you put it away. If possession is a joy, the deep sleep state would be the most pathetic thing because you don't possess anything in a deep sleep state. But that is a one state for the entire humanity. That's a one state where there is no, we can say a opposition that a person doesn't get a joy. Somebody he slept but he did not get a joy. Impossible. If he doesn't get a sleep, there is not a joy. In fact, people strive hard to get sleep. They take medicines where you don't possess anything. So, dhanahara, etc., everything goes away, need not worry. But sarvahara, if life goes away, there is a joy. So therefore Bhagavad says, sarvaharaha mrityuhu aham. Whenever you see any dead body, either of animal, insect, or of a human being, just remember, that is me. Not I brought death. That is me, Bhagavad says, aham mrityuhu. So death is non-separate from me. That's Bhagavad says. And then udbhavaha bhavishyata. Beautiful. Udbhavaha bhavishyata. Udbhavaha means there are two ways to look at it. Udbhavaha means such a source. But Shankaracharya says Udbhavaha means a prosperity. Udbhava means a prosperity. That which happens, in plenty, in a desirable way. That's called prosperity. Prosperity means that which happens in plenty, in a desirable way. So, these two things are considered in a prosperity. A pleasurable experience also, a pleasant experience from the world is which we call kama, is also prosperity. You get that kind of a joy through senses or through pursuing knowledge, as I said, through playing sports. It's an intellectual pleasure. Yeah, playing sports is not a sensory pleasure, it's an intellectual pleasure. And there are aesthetic pleasures. Well, aesthetic pleasures which a few people only enjoy, especially artists. Any artist who definitely has devoted his life to the arts. It could be a painter, it could be a singer, it could be a musician, anybody. They are having a different type of joy compared to people like us, or at least people like me. I gave you an example already of the musician, but anyway. So any form of a joy which you get, right, in plenty, it's a desirable. That's called karma. That's called prosperity. Then second thing is a comfort one gains through wealth, through relation, through name, certain comfort, inner comfort. We call as an ego gratification. Yeah. So you have a wealth to a certain extent, then you buy objects through that. It has a buying power, and you desirable objects you buy and get joy. But you want still more wealth. You have a certain name. In one city you are known, but you want it to be known in other cities also. That is all called ego gratification. So initial kama means a certain prosperity, means you gain certain thing in abundance, in a desirable way, that's kama. But you want more and more, which can give you certain ego gratification. That's called artha. So artha and kama, they are basically called abhyudaya, prosperity. And the source of that prosperity is dharma, punyam. Yeah. Punyam only gives. Whoever gains wealth, name, fame, etc., anything, and through that joy, ego gratification, everything, they are definitely happy. So dharma is a source, cause for gaining artha kama. So all these three put together, artha kama and dharma, are called prosperity. The cause of prosperity and the prosperity which you gain in form of arthakama. Entire thing is called abhyudaya. Then there is another desirable thing which is most desirable, and that is called nishreyasa, moksha. Yeah. Ultimately, no one is interested in gaining objects of ego gratification or security, objects of pleasure. I want to get rid of that sense of displeased self. I want to get rid of that displeased self. I want to get rid of a sense of uneasiness centered on I, a sense of limitation, sense of lack. I want to get rid of it. One wants a freedom from insecurity rather than one is interested in objects of security. Everyone is interested in a freedom from insecurity, freedom from displeased self. Yeah. That's how people are not happy with anything in the world. Anything, everything. Whatever you give them, he's not satisfied more than 2-3 days. 2-3 days also is with the grace I'm telling you. People give up everything. Music albums, they listen 1 time, 2nd time, 3rd time, 4th time, 5th time, 6th time, 7th time, 8th time. Enough, they say. Throw. That shows that there is something which is here. Not there. Issue is here. I always give an example of a child who is crying. Mother doesn't know why he is crying. The child is crying. He doesn't speak also. So she gives some toy. And as he gets a toy, for a moment it stops crying. Throws and starts again crying. She gives another toy. She gives another toy. In between, the child stops crying. But that's not final solution. Child has some other issue. That's how it's crying. This is our mind is all the time crying. Child. All the time. Even God comes and stays with you, I'm telling you, most desirable. Hopefully. He stays with you, you will get boredom with him also. You say, I have made arrange a room for you, and better you take rest and you give me some space. Anything and everything, you want some space from the thing. Amazing. There is a basic issue here. That's how you can't sit with yourself. You say the world is an issue, world is basically a problem for you, then you close yourself in a room for 24 hours on a Sunday like this, and you find you can't sit more than 1 hour. 1 hour also is given. And mobile should not be there, yeah. Book should not be there. You find that you have to face yourself and you are not ready for that. So issue is here, not there. It's always, for a human being, it is always easy to blame. When anything good happens, this. Anything bad happens, you. This is how it is. Anyway, my point is, so Abhyudaya and Nishreyasa, both are desirable. I want a freedom from insecurity forever. Freedom from displeased self forever. That's called moksha. Yeah. So between dharma, artha, kama, which are objects of security and objects of pleasure and objects of ego gratification, and freedom from insecurity and freedom from displeased self, well, I'm interested in this. Could you follow? The most desirable thing in life is a freedom. Everyone loves freedom, and that is freedom from any sense of want. That's how you want to be a happy person throughout the life. Because in a moment of joy, you see yourself free from any want. Therefore, you want it again and again. I think I said last class, once you know your height, you cannot settle for anything less than that. That's what it is. In a moment of joy where you see yourself, in a moment of joy, you see yourself, a full self. You don't want anything in a moment of joy. Now you want again and again that. Yeah. Therefore, it's like, I used to give an example that somebody is invited for you for a lunch and she has prepared some good dishes. And you generally, because she has asked you, what will you like? Oh, you make such and such thing very beautiful, please make it. And she made it. And you have gone and you have eaten and you are saying, oh, it's very good, it's very good. She tastes it and she says, well, they don't know. I can make better than that. Because once you know your height, you cannot settle for anything less than that. You follow what I'm saying? Yeah. That's how all are telling her, very beautiful, you have made so nice, you must have put a lot of efforts. But she says, they don't know. Actually, I can make better. So this is what it is. So in a moment of joy, what you see yourself, full self, free from any lack, you want again and again. You want to see and think again and again. So you want the freedom from displeased self. That's the goal of the life. So this is, here Bhagavan says, Abhyudaya, well, Bhavishyata. So Abhyudaya means a prosperity. Well, is Bhavishyata means that you are going to gain prosperity in future. Which is of course Punyam, I told you already. Punyam is there which gives you that prosperity. So whoever is going to get prosperity in future, there are going to be the people in the world who will be very prosperous. In future, I am saying. Well, Bhagavan says, I am that. Because the punyas by which they gain that punyam is also because of me, that's me. And the prosperity which comes in their life also is me. Amazing. So this is Uddhava Bhavishyana. Then Narinam Madhye Aham Kirtihi Shrihi Vak Smrutihi Medha Dhrutihi Kshama. Wow. This is the topic now. It will go up to the end now. Yeah. Narinam means among the feminine words, I am this. What? First is a Kirti. Kirti means a fame, born of dharma. Bhagavan wants to say, whoever are famous in this world, because of their right actions, proper actions, they have gained a fame. That fame in the famous is me. You can take an example. Current examples are better. And one is that our Malala Yousafzai, the woman, my God, you know, she was this, I think Taliban tried to kill her, but she fought. And fought for what? For the girls' upliftment, women upliftment, girls' education and everything. She was awarded a Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah, we have to talk nowadays Peace Prize, right? Nobel Peace Prize. Everywhere there is a anyway. So anyway, I am fame in all fields. You can take this example. When you bring into the mind a woman like this who have gained fame, the fame in that person, in her, Bhagavan says that is me. And there is another example. I have few modern examples. One is a Leonardo DiCaprio. He's actor actually, and he is very famous because he has raised awareness for a climate change so much, and so he gained fame because of doing some right actions. And third is our India's example is Mahatma Gandhi. My God, Mahatma Gandhi was so famous. He inspired millions of people to the extent that the film on Gandhi won 8 Oscars. 8 Oscars, I think that no film has won 8 Oscars. Film got an Oscar, the director got Oscar, and even the actor Ben Kingsley also got Oscar. My God. That film is on the basis of Mahatma Gandhi's life and his work. You can think of. And several countries have their statues. Several countries. So while the fame in Mahatma Gandhi is Bhagavan says that is me. So it's amazing. Okay, so Kirti. Then Shrihi. Shri means wealth, Shri means health, and Shri means knowledge. Shri means something which is most desired. But we can take these 3 things. So in terms of wealth, the wealth in the wealthy people in the world, the health in the most healthy people in the world, and the knowledge in the most knowledgeable people in the world. One says that is me. And there are examples I can give you from this current world only. And the first example is wealth, of course. In India, there was a Gupta dynasty. It was considered as, say, the golden period of the Indian history. Golden period. Because they were very wealthy people, Gupta, the kings. And they patronized also arts and science and literature, etc. So that was the golden period. So the wealth of those wealthy people, Gupta Empire, Bhagwan says that is me. And currently, Tata family in India. We should have our India's example also. So Tata family, definitely very wealthy. At the same time, they are doing very philanthropic work also. So we can say the wealth in the family. People can give example of a Musk also. People can give example of Ambani's and everything. But I like this. So that's why I'm taking that. And of course, Warren Buffett, the wealth who he possesses, of course, for philanthropic work he is using also. So that wealth in such wealthy people, Bhagavan says, is me. Okay. Then another meaning of Shri is health. And there are most healthy people in centenarians in two countries. One in Japan and one in Italy. They say there are societies, human societies like Okinawans in Japan and Sardinians in Italy. They are a particular community. There are a high number of centenarians. In that community, 100 years or more than 100 years, around 100 years, people are living. And they are considered, they are very known for the very healthy life and for overall well-being. These are the people very well known. So the health in the most healthy people, Bhagavan says, that is me. Current example I am saying. Anyway, and then Shri, if you take it as a knowledge, before I think 3 centuries, one person was there, that is Leonardo da Vinci. He was a painter, he was a sculptor. His paintings are very well known. He was a painter, he was a sculptor, he was an engineer, he was a scientist, he was an inventor. They say this person, the Leonardo da Vinci, was a symbol of a knowledge, such a knowledgeable person. The knowledge in that person, Bhagavan says, is me. Current example. Because seeing these people, generally what happens is seeing these people, we feel that we are nothing. You feel a lack within, but it's not. You should see the glory of Ishvara. These are all extraordinary people. Anyway, then Smriti. I take Smriti and Medha together. What happens is Medha means a power to receive, power to retain, and capacity to remember. That is Medha. And this is a form we have is of a Medha Dakshinamurti. Medha Dakshinamurti. So we have a prayer also to the Dakshinamurti for asking for the Medha actually. Anyway. And if there is a Medha, there will be a Smriti. You will have a memory power also. And in that, the examples in this world, one is an American who was born in a Salt Lake City in Utah. And his name, I am not knowing, I don't know whether this person is alive or not. But it's truth. His name is Jim Peak. And he could recollect, he could produce back books and books and maps, zip codes, and not only that, he could read both the pages of a book simultaneously with each eye. You can imagine. He could read both the pages of a book simultaneously, one with each eye. And he could process his function, in the brain also. Amazing thing. Such a people, such a cognitive ability and memory, where you can produce the books as such, is an amazing thing. And there is another person, a Britisher, who has set a world record. You know, in our mathematics, we used to have a constant, pi, we used to say pi, constant. And it's, if the number in digits will be like 3.144, something. And that person, his name is, I think, Daniel Tammet. He's a Britisher, he's still there. And he has set this world record. And he has set record for reciting the number, that, you know, that pi number, 3 point something. He has, for reciting the number, 22,514 digits. You can follow that, 3.14578, something, whatever. So he could recite that pi number up to 22,514 digits. And he has set a world record. My God, what a memory. These are the legendaries in a memory. Could you follow? Now, so we feel that what a person. No, sir. How the God is, whose manifestation is this memory. A fraction. It's just a fraction. Ishvara's fraction of a glory in this, where you find even a ray of glory kind of a thing. But it was a very brilliant person. So Medha and Smriti, again, this is an example for that. Then Bhagavan says Dhrutihi. Dhrutihi means a courage. I would say Nelson Mandela. What a courage that person has, who has fought against apartheid and he was there in 27 years in jail and undergone all kinds of atrocities. And of course, then he was freed. He got a Nobel Prize also, Peace Prize. But Nelson Mandela had a tremendous courage to fight back anyway. And then Kshama. Kshama does not mean a forgiveness. Kshama means basically more of a capacity of not getting disturbed in variety of situations. And in that several examples, Mahatma Gandhi is one of the examples who had undergone some adverse situation in life, but did not get disturbed at all. That is example. Then other people give example of a Dalai Lama also. That also could be there. And there is another person called Viktor Frankl. And he was a survivor of a Holocaust. He died in 1997 and he had that incredible mental strength to undergo this Holocaust. He survived. So that person, we can give an example for this kind of a kshama, where you have a capacity of not getting disturbed in adverse situation. Anyway, so ultimately Bhagavan says, among all the words in a feminine gender, I have these qualities. And lastly, Vak. So Acharya very beautifully says, Shankaracharya ji, is that if somebody has even a shade of this fame and wealth and knowledge, etc., and Kshama, etc., even shade of that, well, that is, or even a ray of that, well, that is Ishvara. And lastly, Vak. Vak means speak. So there are people who are extraordinary speakers, and the name has been taken of Martin Luther King Jr. One of the speech became so famous, and that is, I have a dream. That speech has become very, very famous. Other modern speakers are also there who are very, very inspiring. One of that is Nick Vujicic, who basically has inspired millions of people. And which kind of people? Who are born without certain, or defect with in limbs. Certain limbs are not there. Such people definitely lose a hope of the life. He is a person who inspires them. He is considered to be a very eloquent speaker in current world. So anyway, these are the people where even if you know, or if you come to know, and immediately appreciate the presence of Ishvara in them as a form of a glory. Anyway. So this is Kirti Shri Vapchanarina Smritihi Medha Dhrutihi Kshama. Verse 35. Brihat Sama Tatha Samnam Gayatri Chandasamaham Masanam Margashirshoham Ritunam Kusumakaraha. So, Samnam Madhye Aham Brihat Sama. Samnam Madhye. Among all the Sama mantras of the Sama Veda, well, I am a Brihat Sama. This is a particular mantra. That mantra is very, very short. Only 3 or 4 words are there. But yet it is called very great Sama. Because through that 4 words of that Sama mantra, there is a great appreciation of the Lord whose glory has been appreciated in that mantra. Therefore, Ishvara is very glorious, which is appreciated by that Sama mantra. Therefore, the mantra also, even though it is small, it is called Brihat Sama. Itself is very glorious. So that is the meaning for that. And then further is a Gayatri Chandasam Aham. We would like to discuss this regarding Gayatri. So Chandasam Aham Gayatri, Bhagavan said. So Bhagavan's Chandas word has been used for a Vedic meter. Chandas word, the meaning is a Vedic mantra, or Chandas word has been used for Veda itself. Urdhamulam Urdhamulaha Adashakaha Ashwatha Prahu Avyayam Chandamsi Yasya Paranani. Chandamsi. So the Sansara Vriksha is there, Ashwatha Vriksha, and whose leaves are nothing but these Vedas, Bhagavan says. So word Chandas is used for the Vedic meter, for Vedic mantra, or for the Veda itself. So here I am taking Gayatri Chandasam Aham, means I am the Gayatri mantra among all the mantras, Vedic mantras. I am the Gayatri mantra. Now here, in this, so far as Vedic meter is concerned, a Vedic meter is nothing but a law. When you are basically composing a poem, then that whatever the lines are there in that poem, whatever the verse is there in that poem, well, has to fit with that law. Means a certain number of letters should be there in the entire verse, and it should have a certain number of lines, and every line should have a certain number of letters also. So that is called law. That's called Chandas, meter. Meter here is not meter, centimeter, etc. This is a meter. Vedic meter is a law by which. So in the mantra bhaga of the Veda, well, this Veda has 2 portions: mantra bhaga and brahmana bhaga. The mantra bhaga has all these mantras where mostly hymns of all devatas are there, which has this kind of a meter. Even our Bhagavad Gita is in meter. All the verses are in meter. And the meter is a anushtup. Dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yutsavaha mamaka pandavascheva kimakurvata sanjaya. So this is a verse, right? This is in meter, anushtup meter. What's a anushtup meter? Where this verse should have a 4 lines, 4 quarters, and each quarter should have 8 letters. So the total verse should have 32 letters. That's it. Then if it has 32 letters and that verse is divided into the 4 quarters, each quarter will have 8 letters, then we say this verse is in anushtup meter. In Veda there are several meters. Begins with Gayatri. Gayatri, Ushnik, Anushtup, Brihati, Pankti, Trishtup, Jagati, etc. etc. And so, the first meter, the name of the first, while enumerating the meters, the first name comes of a Gayatri meter. And Gayatri meter is there also, whatever the mantra is there in that particular meter, it should have 3 lines, means 3 quarters. total letters in the entire mantra should be 24, and each line, each quarter should have 8 letters. That's it. That's called Gayatri. So basically, so that's how you know. And several mantras are there. Several, in fact, all the stuti, praise of the devatas are done in a Gayatri meter. Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Mahadevaya Dhimahi Tanno Rudra Prachodayat. Right? Narayanaya Vidmahe Vasudevaya Dhimahi Tanno Vishnu Prachodayat. And Ekadantaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Danti Prachodayat. All devatas. Since the stuti of all the devatas are done, maximum stuti of all the devatas are done through the mantras, in a Gayatri meter, this particular meter, Gayatri meter in the Veda is most popular. It's most popular. Anyway, I'll talk about it. So, this is regarding meter, Gayatri meter. Now, the word Gayatri itself has a two meanings. And one is a particular type of meter, as I told you, is a Gayatri meter. That's I already told you. The second meaning of the word Gayatri is a particular mantra is called Gayatri mantra. Yeah. Because basically, as I told you, that particular mantra happens to be in a Gayatri meter, that is fine. But that mantra itself is very popular because it is the essence of all the 3 Vedas. Therefore. So, we have 4 Vedas, but we generally give weightage to 3 Vedas. And that is Rig Veda, Yajur Veda and Sam Veda. Rig Veda, Yajur Veda and Sam Veda. Atharva Veda has several karmas and the devatas which are generally not advisable to be done. Therefore, Atharva Veda we keep it away. And these all 3 Vedas we put together. That's how one name for the group of 3 Veda is very popular, and that is called Trayi. When Trayi word comes, you should understand it is a group of these 3 Vedas. And the essence of all the 3 Veda is this particular mantra, which happens to be in a Gayatri meter. Therefore, that mantra itself is called Gayatri. And it has been said, Tribhyaha tu Vedebhyaha Padam Padam Aduduhat Parameshthi Prajapati. Parameshthi Prajapati, Brahmaji, well, he Aduduhat. Du dhatu is there in a Sanskritam. Du means to milk. So, like a milkman milks the cow. Same way, this Brahmaji has become a milkman and he milked this 3 Vedas cow, which is the form of 3 Vedas. He milked. And from each Veda, he got one pada, one line of that mantra. Because Gayatri mantra, which is, I told you already, in 3 lines, right? Three quarters. Each quarter he got from each Veda. So, Tat Savituhu Varenyam, he got it from Rig Veda. Essence of the Rig Veda is Tat Savituhu Varenyam. Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, that part, he got it from, as essence, from Yajur Veda. Then Dhiyoyona Prachodayat, he got it from Sam Veda, as essence of the Sam Veda. And therefore, well, basically, this particular mantra, which happens to be in a Gayatri meter, which is the essence of all the Vedas. Therefore, that mantra itself has become so popular that now the mantra, which is called Gayatri mantra, that these things happen. Like when you utter a word Gandhi, one Gandhi only appears in your mind. Not all Gandhis, several Gandhis are there. Sanjay Gandhi, Indira Gandhi, Varun Gandhi, Rajmohan Gandhi, several Gandhis are there. But when you utter a word Gandhi, only one Gandhi appears. All other are to be put with certain first name. Yeah. That's how Gandhi, we don't know Gandhi's only. We know, Gandhi ji. Same thing. Okay. So, like Rama, literally speaking, word Rama means Atma. Rama means Atma. Because Ramate Asmin Hridaye or Ramate Sarvasmin Hridaye iti Rama. One who dwells in all the beings is ultimately Rama. But no. When Rama comes immediately in your mind, the person, particular person who is the son of Dasharatha comes. Do you follow? It was so popular. That is how the word Gayatri, we say Gayatri mantra, means basically we feel it is in Gayatri meter, but why the mantra is called Gayatri mantra? Because it is most popular. Since it is most popular and that happens to be in a Gayatri meter, so mantra itself is called Gayatri mantra, etc. And it's actually basically a Savitri mantra where the presiding deity or what is worshipped through that mantra, what is chanted through that mantra, what is invoked, grace of, what is we invoke the grace of a particular Devata, that is Savita, Lord's Son. And Devata, we should remember, it is Ishvara alone, basically, but with a certain aspect. Because whole creation is functioning intelligently, then everything in the world is functioning intelligently. The sun also is functioning intelligently. When anything functions intelligently with a law, then definitely there must be a governing principle of the law. Like suppose the laws are created here, taxation laws, then you will always find a person who governs that department which has these laws, right? Who will see that the laws are, that particular law is followed, etc. So there is a governing principle of every law. So the sun also, the solar disk which you see physically, that solar disk is functioning intelligently. That scientists are telling us very beautifully why it is emitting so much of light and heat and everything. It is functioning intelligently. So there is a governing principle who governs that law. So same Ishvara who is in form of all laws, but with respect to the sun, that same Ishvara is called Devata, Surya Devata. Could you follow? With respect to, or with the aspect of a given thing, same Ishvara who is in form of all laws, where we say Surya Devata, Vayu Devata, Prithvi Devata, like that. So it's object, but object functions with a law, and that law, if it is functioning and without fail, it functioning, then there must be a governing principle, a conscious being which governs it. That's called Devata. Clear? So this is how we say. So that's how we have 33 crores. And why 30? I would say not 33 crores. It should be 330 crores also, because so many things are there. Everything functions. My eye is functioning intelligently. This is functioning intelligently. Light is functioning intelligently. Everything is functioning with a law. That's what science discovers. And therefore there must be a governing principle, because it is all the things without fail. I was amazed when I saw in Times of India that they have, today is what is the date? 28th? 19th October, right? So 19th October 2025, they used to give, now I don't know, but they used to give 19th October 2125, after 100 years. When will be a sunrise? What time in the morning they are giving? Means whatever the law which governs that sun doesn't fail, right? It looks like. Then if it is like that, then there must be a governing principle. And that governing principle is called Devata. Clear? So this is how it is. So all the things function without fail. Human being also function, body functions without fail, unless you abuse it. That's a different thing. But whole creation, everything is, that's how science is able to talk about. Science is possible because they are able to predict that there is such a law. Even our human psychology functions in one way. That's how one is able to relate to other. One goes to other's place and talk about his or her emotions, and the other person is able to understand. Why? Because it's one law. A person will say also, you are right, huh? This situation will bring anger, you are very much right. Yeah. Yeah, it's natural. It's natural that you get angry. There's one more. That's Ishvara's manifestation. What's available universally is Ishvara. Anyway, my point is, but with a given aspect, you look at the Ishvara, that becomes Devata. So that's how it is. But anyway, so this is Savitru mantra basically. And in a Sandhya Vandanam, very beautifully said also, Savitra Vishwamitra Rishi, Nijit Gayatri Chandaha, Savita Devata. Savita is Sandhya Vandanam where you basically do a worship Gayatri and you chant Gayatri. There it has been very clearly said. Of course, the seer is a Vishwamitra Rishi and that's a Nijit Gayatri Chandaha. I will talk about it. Nijit Gayatri and Gayatri, the difference is in a Nijit Gayatri there are 23 letters. In a Gayatri, there are 24 letters. That's it. But anyway. And Savita Devata, look at that. So this is Savitru, it's a Savitru mantra actually. But from the standpoint of a meter, it is called Gayatri mantra. From the standpoint of the Devata which is worshipped through that mantra, is called Savitru mantra. Okay? Clear? So this is how it is. Anyway, and at the time of basically Upanayanam, this brahmachari, prostrates in front of his father or a guru. Because Upanayanam is the initiation ceremony. Initiation ceremony means that boy is initiated with the periphery rites. He is initiated for the study. The brahmacharya ashram will start. So he is initiated into Vedic studies. And the first thing is he has to recite the Vedic mantras. Because that is the age where one can memorize fast. So therefore, child cannot know immediately the meaning of the mantra. It's very difficult. Even we don't know that what is the... But that child can recite mantra and memorize the whole thing. And they memorize. I have seen even in Chennai, today also. If you go to a Vedic Pathshala, you will see these boys with a tuft and they sit parallelly. And they chant Vedic mantras orally, 2 hours, 3 hours, because one's own entire branch of Veda one has to chant every day. But they chant. But the idea of Upanayanam, so after Upanayanam, basically this, the boy, says something. What he says, Savitrim Bho Anubruhi. He tells to the teacher, Savitrim Bho Anubruhi. May you basically teach Savitrim. Savitrim is this Gayatri mantra. May you teach that. The teacher has to teach you entire Veda. Why you just Savitri mantra? Because it is an essence of all the 3 Vedas. So even if a child cannot do one's own branch of Veda, cannot recite every day, at least if he recites this Gayatri mantra every day, he has as though recited his own branch of Veda. Because Gayatri happens to be the essence of all 3 Vedas. That is the current. So that's how they call Brahmopadesha. At the time of Upanayanam, the teacher or the father, in those days father also, give Upadesha of Brahma. Brahma means a Veda. So Upadesha of Veda, in that nothing, the child and the teacher both covered with a cloth, and then teacher tells in the ear of that student, the child, just Gayatri, and says, repeat. I'm chanting, you repeat. I'm chanting, you repeat. I'm chanting, you repeat. That's it. So teacher also feels he has taught entire Veda, and the child also feels he has got his teaching of the Veda. And then he every day, through Sandhya Vandanam, he repeats this Gayatri. And why he repeats, what is the advantage, that we will talk to it. But the word Gayatri itself tells you something. Gayantam trayate iti Gayatri. Gayantam, one who chants to that person, trayate. This mantra becomes a protector. This mantra, provides a immunity as to. Mantra basically immunizes. Mantra provides a invisible armor to that boy. Why to be invisible? It should be visible. No. The obstacles are also equally invisible. In anybody's life, Our papas, the obstacles are also invisible. If you already see them, then you definitely will run away from them. But no, it unfolds in the form of a prarabdha every day, which you even don't know. Yeah, I take the class and I go to the room and I just do like this. And some jerk happened here. And now I am not able to even do like this. Anything can happen. Or you will go to restroom and just sleep. Not you, I am talking about me, okay? Anything can happen. It's an invisible thing, basically. So, invisible negative force is countered with invisible armor. That is Gayatri. Basically protects you from all papas. So, it is called Gayantam Trayate. Then the crucial question comes, Swamiji, if that is the case, how all the people are not allowed to chant Gayatri? Well, all are allowed to chant Gayatri, but there are two types of Gayatri. There are some people who are initiated into Gayatri. And that's formally. When it comes to the Shruti, the Veda, all things becomes formal. Everything formal. Like in a modern world, we have formal. You join a particular organization formally. Formally. Take an appointment later and few things are there. They will also fulfill formalities. And then when you resign, again formal. You have to submit resignation later, right? You can't go like that. And then there are bonds and everything. I don't know whether it is there or not, but everything formally. So here also, formally. The formal is, all these samskaras are formal. For all samskaras we call purificatory rites. The person who is born is as good as anyone. Because he is born ignorant. Everyone is born ignorant. That's a capital. Everyone is born ignorant. And if then you are as good as, you don't have any viveka also. The child is as good as an animal kind of thing. Sleeping also long, almost all the whole day. So tamoguna is all, So that boy, he should be, which is a prakrita, which is this kind of animal, like animal, is basically made Sanskrita, culture, through samskaras called purificatory rites. And so we have 41 samskaras ultimately. Finally is the Agni samskara, that's a different thing. But initially, even when the child is not born, he is in the womb, we have a Simanton Nayanana, etc., etc. Right? And then Jatakarma samskara and other things are there. Once it is born, then definitely Jatakarma samskara. Then there is a Namakarana samskara. Then Upanayan samskara. So many things. Annaprashana samskara. So all samskaras are meant for the human child ultimately to become a Sanskrita from the Prakrita culture. Anyway, one of that is the Upanayan samskara. So it's a formally the person is initiated into that, and it's a purificatory rites. So this Shrauta Gayatri is through that Upanayan. And women has a certain period in the month where they definitely, it is advisable that they will not have this Upanayan, etc. So for them also there is a Gayatri. That's a Smartha Gayatri. Smartha Gayatri means is a Gayatri mantra which is there in the Smritis. That man, women, not initiated, etc., everybody can do. And that Gayatri is Yo Devaha Savita Smakam Dhiyo Dharmani Gocharaha Prerayet Tasya Yad Bhargaha Tatvarenyam Upasmahe. Smartha Gayatri. Same meaning of our Tatsavetul Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Prachodaya. Same meaning is there. That's a Gayatri in the Veda. This is a Gayatri in the Smritis. That's a Shruti. This is a Smriti. So everybody can do Gayatri. It's only question of Smartha or a Shrauta. That's the thing. Anyway. And what is the essence of the Gayatri? Essence of the Gayatri, the meaning of Gayatri is Om Tat Sarituhu Varenyam. Om Bhurvasvaha. That's not part of Gayatri, but it has been chanted all the time. Om, well, basically is, I told you, it's a name nickname of the Lord. Why nickname? Because that's a name. If you chant that name, He will definitely look at you. In a home also, there are always nicknames, Pinky and this and that, and all kinds of things. When you call them, which are their regular names, they don't. But if you call them Sritu and Pinky and whatever, then they immediately look at you. So if you want to call Ishvara, there are 1,000 names, Vishnu Sahasranama and Lalita Sahasranama, and several names and names and names and names. Why so many names? Because every name is related to the Nam with a form. All the forms are His forms. Therefore, all the names are also His names. Therefore, you can chant with any name. But basically, all essence of all the names, or you can say the origination of all the names is from one name. Because you open the mouth and close the mouth in which all names are there. All alphabet. Right? So that's how we have 108 also. Yeah, 54 and 54. I mean, if you start with vowels and all consonants and everything, total will be 54. Then you chant in a reverse manner. Another 54. All words, entire language is covered. Right? Therefore, we have 108. So much. Anyway, my point is we chant 108 names because we think that we have covered all alphabets, and with all alphabets we have covered all words, and through all the words are covered and connected with all forms, because every word is a meaningful word. The meaning is nothing but that object or form. And therefore, in all forms or all objects are nothing but manifestation of Ishvara, because Ishvara is the material cause of everything. And therefore, how will you chant all names? No, one name. Oh, that's it. So much, my God. Om is something which is, that's a different thing. But Om, then Bhur Bhuva Swaha. So Bhur Bhuva Swaha also is there. Bhur Bhuva Swaha also is there, which indicates three worlds: gross, subtle, and unmanifest, or Sthula, Sukshma, and Karana, Pancha, which covers everything, entire creation. Om is Lord, but Lord means what? Entire creation, manifest, unmanifest. Manifest will be gross and subtle. Unmanifest is from which it arises. Could you follow? So, or Sthula, Sukshma, Karana. Therefore, it includes everything. Then Tat Savituhu Varenyam. Tat Savituhu Varenyam. Tat means that. What that is very famous in our Shastra for Lord. Tattvamasi, etc. Means that Lord. Varenyam is most worshipful. Dhimahi, we meditate. So we meditate that Lord which is most worshipful. This mantra, chanting of this mantra is, there are two purposes for this. For the people who know Vedanta, this mantra becomes a contemplation. And the people who don't know Vedanta, like the child, etc., who is initiated into Gayatri, etc., for them, the mantra, and invoking a Devata through that, worshipping the Devata through that, Savita Devata, will become a sadhana for gaining brilliance of the mind, etc. Because you are worshipping something which is most brilliant in the world, and which is self-illuminating principle. The self-illuminating principle basically is sun. Sun does not illumine the world. It's a wrong thing to say. Sun illumines the world is a wrong. We use the verb that sun is doing a job of illumination. World is illumined and he is an illuminator. It's not true. Sun is a simply self-illuminating principle. In its presence, the world which is around gets illuminated. Sun doesn't do anything. So such a self-illuminating principle, self-shining principle is Ishvara, consciousness. On account of that, everything shines. Everything becomes an object of knowledge through consciousness. Consciousness is not an object of consciousness. Consciousness is also object of knowledge. Means consciousness is object of consciousness. Kya baat? Then that consciousness becomes an object of another consciousness. Consciousness is self-illuminating principle, which is limitless, which illumines space, time, and everything. So it's automatically shines in its own glory. Everything is objectified automatically. starting from space, time and mind and everything, memory and thoughts. That's how we call witness consciousness. Anyway, witnessing even the mind. It's not doing a job of witnessing also. But because of the mind which is experienced, I say I am a witness consciousness. Anyway, so that is the sun. One side there is sun and other side consciousness, similarity. The best drishtanta for Atma or Ishvara is this. Sun doesn't have any spots, so far as, and black spots kind of a thing. Moon has several patches which are black, but sun doesn't have black spots. So therefore, well, here consciousness does not have any iota of ignorance. Yeah. Self-eliminating principle which you can objectify ignorance. Yes, therefore, it is taken either as a mantra, I mean you take as a alambana in order to contemplate upon the self. So tat savituhu varinyam, and if it is not, it's just a sadhanam for the people. So savituhu devasya, well, this the one who is self-effulgent and all knowledge, well, is symbolized by that savita.